Hey Broncos fans! The excitement is electric in Broncos country, and I have some exciting news to share with you. We're getting closer to the release of the 2025 NFL schedule, but before that bombshell drops, something even bigger is on the horizon. So buckle up, because we're going to explain exactly what this means for our Broncos and why this could be the year we reclaim dominance in the AFC West. But before we go any further, please like if you've been a Broncos fan for over 20 years. It's always great to see fans of all ages. If you're a diehard, leave a comment. Go Broncos! My heart bleeds orange and blue. Let's get into it. The Denver Broncos have just been ranked the #1 most exciting young team in the entire NFL. That's not just hype. That's front-page recognition from Bleacher Report, and it comes with Bo Nix's face front and center as the future of our franchise. While the national spotlight has been fixated on the Bears and C.J. Stroud, and while people are still obsessed with Travis Hunter, it's the Broncos sitting atop the rankings of the most thrilling teams going into 2025. Mike Clay's projections are a goldmine. He drops a 100-page deep dive every year, grading players, units, and matchups with surgical precision. Last year, he completely underestimated Denver, projecting us as the favorite in just one game. And yet, we racked up 10 wins and shocked the league. That underestimation won't happen again. This year, the tables have turned. Clay has us favored in all but 3 matchups against the Eagles, Chiefs on the road, and Texans, and even in those, the margins are slim. Think about it. The worst projection is a 37% win probability in Philly. That's the lowest. That's a sign of respect we haven't seen in years. Now let's talk about Bo Nix. Clay projects 24 touchdowns, 11 picks, and a lower passer rating than his rookie campaign. Yet despite that conservative stat line, he still ranks Bo Nix as a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. If Nix even slightly exceeds those projections, the Broncos aren't just winning the West, we're in Super Bowl contention. Add in a vastly improved defensive line, now graded nearly a 9 out of 10, and a tight end group that has jumped from worst to 7th best in the NFL, and you're looking at a Sean Payton team built for a deep run. What's shocking is how low some of Clay's grades go for our offensive units. He ranks our running backs and wide receivers among the worst in the league. Seriously? Does he think Sean Payton would have ignored free agents like Najee Harris, J.K. Dobbins, or draft prospects like Amari and Hampton if that were true? Cortland Sutton is still a beast. Pat Bryant is going to turn heads. Marvin Mims is set to elevate. This group is deeper than it's given credit for, and you know Payton has a plan for every piece. Let's not forget defense. Our edge rush is only rated a 5? Jonah Ellis played through injury and still put up numbers. Nick Benito was almost our sack leader. Jonathan Cooper had 10 sacks. Dondre Tillman and Quay Robinson add even more heat off the edge. Meanwhile, our interior pass rush gets an 8, and our secondary, led by Pat Surtain and a healthy Riley Moss, should be ranked among the NFL's elite. Still, Clay calls us just 10th overall in secondary strength. That might be the most underrated aspect of this roster, and it's where we could make the biggest playoff impact. Let's talk about our rivals, starting with the Chiefs. Clay projects them to win just 2 more games than the Broncos. That's within striking distance. Their running back room is a disaster. Isaiah Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, Elijah Mitchell, not scaring anyone. Travis Kelce is nearing 35. Their receiver core, led by Xavier Worthy, is banking on Rashee Rice being suspended for 8 games. That offense is built on shaky legs, and their O-line is suspect, with a 6 out of 10 grade and glaring weaknesses. Mahomes is still Mahomes, but he'll be working with much less help in 2025. And the Chargers? Clay's got them winning 8.7 games, fewer than Denver, despite a solid running back upgrade with Amari and Hampton and Najee Harris. Outside of rookie Ladd McConkey, their receiver room is bare. Defensively, they're a mess, linebackers and cornerbacks both rated a 4. They'll have one of the worst defenses in the league. The Broncos, by contrast, have a top 10 roster and an easier schedule. Don't forget, Ladd McConkey might be a problem, but we brought in Jaquan McMillian and drafted for matchups like that. Then there's the Raiders. Geno Smith is projected to barely throw more touchdowns than interceptions. Ashton Jeanty is supposed to run for 1,200 yards. That's a stretch. They lost key defensive starters and didn't have a good defense to begin with. Clay ranks them 28th on offense, 29th on defense, and second to last overall in the entire NFL. So, with the Broncos sitting pretty as favorites in 14 of 17 games, a top 10 QB in Bo Nix, a strengthened O-line, a lethal secondary, and a better defensive front than people think, what's stopping us from making a serious run? Let me ask you, Broncos country, what do you think is the most underrated part of this Denver Broncos team heading into 2025? Because when we start peeling back the layers of this Denver Broncos roster, it becomes clear this is not a team in rebuild mode. This is a franchise quietly but confidently assembling a roster that not only competes but has the potential to dominate. Let's take a closer look at just how strategic this build has been under Sean Payton's vision, and why the national media may finally start waking up to the fact that the Broncos are no longer the underdog. They're the sleeping giant of the AFC. One of the most glaring oversights in Mike Clay's analysis, and trust me, there's a lot of great stuff there, is the underappreciation of this Broncos secondary. Calling it the 10th best in the league feels like a snub when you consider the names on this unit. Pat Certain, too, isn't just a great cornerback. He's arguably the best in the entire NFL. He erases top receivers week after week. Then you've got Riley Moss, who when healthy, has the tools and the film to be an absolute difference maker. Add in Jaquan McMillian and the versatility he brings, and this isn't just a solid secondary, it's a championship caliber group. The fact that this unit isn't ranked in the top 5 by Clay is almost laughable, and if anything, it's going to fuel this defense even more. Now, let's get back to the quarterback room. Bo Nix has already shown poise beyond his years, and what makes his situation unique compared to other young QBs is that he's being coached by one of the best offensive minds in NFL history. Sean Payton didn't just stumble upon Nix. This was a calculated decision. Payton passed on other prospects and free agents because he believed in what Nix can become in his system. And let's not forget, Bo Nix is being protected by one of the best defensive lines in football, ranked almost a 9 out of 10 by Clay. That gives him the time to make decisions, and in a Payton scheme, that means chunk plays, rhythm throws, and consistent production. The tight end group, another massive leap forward. Going from the worst unit last season to a 7 out of 10 rating now is a testament to development, smart additions, and coaching. This group doesn't need to be flashy, they need to be reliable, and that's exactly what they are. Blocking, short yardage catches, red zone reliability, it's all coming together. And while Clay seems hesitant about our wide receivers and running backs, the on-field reality tells a different story. Courtland Sutton, despite not always getting national attention, continues to produce and dominate in contested catch situations. He's the alpha in this receiver room, and with Marvin Mims' speed and route running improving, plus Pat Bryant coming in with size and playmaking ability, this trio gives Bo Nix more than enough weapons. And let's not sleep on the backfield. R.J. Harvey brings burst, vision, and grit. If the running back room was truly that bad, do you think Sean Payton would have stood pat? Of course not. What we're seeing is a team that's building from the trenches outward. The offensive line is elite. The defensive front, though Clay grades the edge rushers at a 5, is much deeper than people realize. Nick Benito and Jonathan Cooper combined for 17 sacks last year. Jonah Ellis was battling through injury and still contributed. Add Dondre Tillman and Quay Robinson into the mix, and this group can absolutely create chaos off the edge. The interior D-line is already considered an 8-10 unit, and you better believe that's going to open up even more one-on-one matchups for our outside guys. So when you take the totality of this roster, the quarterback, the offensive line, the revamped tight ends, the underrated receivers, a dangerous defense with a lockdown secondary, and one of the smartest coaching staffs in football, how can you not be excited?